Welcome to SoCalTech Interviews, where we talk with the entrepreneurs, investors, and others in Southern California's high-tech industry. Today, we talk with Chad Wasilenkoff, the CEO of Helicoid Industries. I'm Ben Kuo, founder and editor of SoCalTech.com.
Hi, I'm Chad Wasilenkoff. I'm the CEO of Helicoid Industries Incorporated. We're a newly formed company. We just have technology that we've licensed off the University of Riverside that will improve any and all composites in the world, making them lighter, stronger, more durable, and cheaper to produce.
And talk about your technology. What does the technology exactly do?
Sure. So it evolved over hundreds of millions of years in the mantis shrimp, which is known to be one of the world's fiercest predators out there. And it has these clubs that can damage other shellfish and eat them. And so when the university did their research and reverse engineered it, what they found is it's not the material, but it's the architecture. So it has unidirectional material. So if you think about your fingers, if you held them in front of you, all the fibers are going in one direction. The next layer is on a slight angle of rotation, and then it just keeps going in that same angle of rotation. And by simply changing that architecture from the way composites are currently made, you can double the strength of any and all composites, whether it's carbon fiber, fiberglass, or things like that. So it's a very simple, eloquent solution, but again, it's evolved through hundreds of millions of years to be a stronger material that way.
So where is your technology now in terms of, you talked about the research. Where is it in terms of application?
Sure. So the university has spent 11 years, $9 million, and over 60 people working on it. Multiple universities collaborated on it. It's fully patented. Helicoid Industries just licensed the technology approximately 2 months ago. So we're just getting started to be able to now commercialize it. So we're raising $5 million in the first and probably only seed round we'll need. We are talking to several strategic investors as well, automobile manufacturers, airplane manufacturers, things like that. Once we close on this $5 million, then we'll build out the operational team, all the composite experts that are required. Mostly be engineers. It'll be a highly technical sale. We don't intend to manufacture, even though we have the ability to manufacture. There's just too many opportunities, too many markets to take advantage of in the short term. So rather than focusing on automobile parts or wind turbine blades, which is a $7 billion industry, we want to build a sales team that can attack all of these in short term.
What's your background?
I'm an entrepreneur by background. I've built over 30 different companies. I've raised over $1 billion. I've taken more than a dozen companies public. I've had more than half a dozen exit strategies north of 100 million. I built one company to $1 billion and had a unicorn, Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. So this is my passion. I always go and find the company, the asset, the opportunity first, raise the capital, and then I build out the management team. I want the best of the best, and I want industry-specific knowledge and expertise, and nobody's going to leave their existing position if I don't have the asset secured or the company secured and the financing and the balance sheet to be able to this individual to grow the company in the way they want.
And how did you come across this particular technology?
Yeah, I was volunteering and doing some mentorship at the University of Riverside for the last 3 years or so. So I was guest speaking at some of their business school classes, some of their entrepreneurship classes, local incubators, and I was doing some sort of like Shark Tank prizes and things like that, and I was a panelist. And again, I'm an investor first and foremost. And one evening, I was out with several of the professors, and I said, you guys have a lot of different technology and interesting things and labs. I said, what's the best of the best? Because I'm agnostic. I'll invest in whatever makes sense. And they all immediately said it was this helicoid architecture. And so I approached the university the next day, and it took several months to do both due diligence and finalize negotiations. But again, a couple of months ago, we secured the technology.
What's the hardest, what is the biggest challenge for this company in terms of getting to market?
Yeah, it'll be time. Unfortunately, so the biggest applications are in airplane fuselage, which is a $40 billion industry. And composites have been successful there. So Boeing's planes are currently 50% composites, Airbus are 54% composites, but they won't change overnight. They're not just going to switch out a piece because it's better, lighter, stronger. They're going to have to do a lot of testing before they adopt it. The lucky part of our manufacturing, though, is they already do unidirectional material. It's all done by robotics, so it would literally be a software change to be able to materially reduce the weight of the plane. So hopefully we can get them excited and fast track it. But in the meantime, we expect on the bigger markets like airplane fuselages, it's going to be 7 to 10 years before we get the adoption. But again, it's a big, huge market. at $40 billion that we can have a meaningful impact in.
As a serial entrepreneur, what is the biggest lesson you've learned over the years?
Do your own research. I followed some analysts and research reports and third party, and now before I do anything, I immerse myself and try to get up to speed as fast as I can on every industry. But you can never learn it all, but you got to understand it as deep a dive as you possibly can.
Interesting. And what did you do on this technology for your deep dive? How did you figure out that it was what you wanted to work on?
Yeah, I started industry first, looking at the composite industry globally and how big it was and where the growth rates are and what drives composites. And it's the fact that they're lighter, stronger, and more durable than the existing products and the incumbents. So this technology makes them even lighter, stronger, and better. So that got me quite excited. Then I hired an independent consultant because it is fairly technical, and obviously I'm not going to get that up to speed on engineering of composites. So we've got a gentleman, he's now a shareholder and on our board of directors, but 35 years at Boeing, all in composites. He has more patents than anyone else at Boeing, all composite related, with 64 different composite patents. He's currently still a professor and has been for 14 years at the University of Washington and the University of Oregon, teaching both composites and composite manufacturing. So he's as good an expert as we can have. And again, I had him down to the university to do all the due diligence. He said this is game changing and obviously very impactful. So as I said, he's a shareholder and on our board of directors now.
Great. And I guess the last question is, what's the next step for you guys?
Raise the capital, get the management team in place, and start driving sales. And then probably take the company public in about 2 years. We feel is about the right time horizon. We just need some third-party validation, either a combination through strategic investors, but then actual contracts and licensing and having products out in the marketplace that are made from this helicoid. And then again, we do want to take it public. We think it'll help further attract more market attention, which will further drive sales and licensing opportunities.